Hello and welcome, Proco here again, doing another tutorial video. We're now in 117, so I thought it's time to start building farms for all the new blocks that we're getting. And today we're going to start with the copper block, which is one I absolutely adore. It's got some brilliant new mechanics to it and I do love it. So we're going to get started on a farm and we're going to use those guys that are hiding behind me, the drowned. They used to drop gold, but now they drop tasty copper. So you've seen me build plenty of these farms, so we will just jump straight into it. There's not a lot of explanation to it, there's just a few tips and tricks that I've picked up building these things. I tend to always use them as my starter XP farms, just because you get loads of extra goodies out of them, which we'll talk through in a minute. So let's jump in and get started. So first off, what you're going to need to find in your world is one of these. It is a zombie spawner. You've probably seen them, you've probably used them as starter XP farms. So what you're doing is basically setting it up as a standard zombie grinder. So you want a floor below it and above it. So you'll need 2 air gaps above, 2 air gaps below. What you should be doing is always plug the one directly on top of the spawner and leave the rest open. Stop some spawning there and just hanging about holding up your mob cap. And then what I normally do is I'll pick a side and I'll come out 4 more blocks and then do that on the other 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the last one I just come out 3 and then I drop it down 2 and then have another little channel, oops, like so, and I can use that to sweep them off into the killing area. So give me 2 minutes and I will go and build this up and we'll have a look at it. Right, there we go. So that's the basic outline of the farm built. May have noticed I'm using the new tinted glass block, which is awesome. It's see-through, but if we knock that out, it completely blocks light. So it means we can spawn mobs and be able to see it in the spawner at the same time. So where I've got the channel, I've left an opening on one side. You want a water bucket on the other, just to flush all the mobs to that end. And then the opposite side from it, so the channel's there, on the back, water sources just along the back. And that will flush them all down to there, and they will all fall down in there. Plop, 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 plop. So from there, all we need to do is go underneath, and we'll build down a few. I'll leave the front off just now. So we can see what we're doing. So the way I always do it is I come down 2 from wherever the water stream's in. So 1, 2. Then you're going to want to come down. So the way I always do it is you come down 1, 2, 3, 4 and put your cobweb in. So I'll come down a wee bit more with these. And then under the cobweb, put a sign, you can put a button, anything that's going to stop water flow basically. And then I put on the cobweb, water source. And then I always put a water source on the top as well, just to speed things up a bit. And then you can just seal that up. And if we do put seal that in to stop MD getting out and go and knock that sea lantern out. Always remember, plug the one on top. Then if we have a watch of this, we should see drown getting spit out the bottom of this. that is the basics of the farm. As you'll see, you do get nautilus shells. One thing you don't get is tridents from this, but you should start getting, as you see, any weapons, armor, other equipment that the zombies spawn. As they're converted, they'll drop it all, and you will get it through here. This is playing on hard difficulty. These things do change when you're in the lower levels of difficulty. I don't think you get quite as much of the gear dropped. I might be wrong, but I always play on hard just to make sure I'm getting the maximum out of the game. So once you've got a fair few through, you can just stand here and chop away at them. And all I've done, hopper with a barrel in front of it, see what we get. And there we go. 2 copper already, a few bits and pieces, so it could be quite easy to just put in a filter just to get out the sort of important bits you want and burn the rest out of it. As you can see, babies are also converted. Don't always get as much drops from them. But that's it. Basically no redstone at all. The only thing you need is a loot and 3 sword just to maximise your drops. And I have put smite 5 on it as well, just to chop through them a bit quicker. And then some more gear from one that converted. We'll see if that gold one is about to go. So basically how this works is zombies will convert into drowns once their head is underwater for 30 seconds. And then they start doing that shaky thing that you can see one in the back doing, and then after another 15 seconds, drowned is spat out. And then it's just a case of chop 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 chop. So it's a nice wee easy starter XP farm, as you can see, and you're also getting loads of loot and drops and stuff like that from it. Wasn't going to show you how to do the trident killer, I will anyway, just so that it's complete for the video. So where the drowned are falling, I've got a block here, and then I've just turned that into a 2x2. Got a hopper under the opposite corner from the one the drowns are falling into, another hopper, and then a barrel. What I now need to do is, if I put that on there, I need some more bits and pieces. So what I need is a couple of rails and a hopper minecart. So if I put a rail there and a rail there, I'm really hoping it works with tinted glass. I have not tried it with this. I should be able to just push that down into that block and knock those rails out. Just push it. Oh no, don't push it out. And then what I'll do is I'll just, if it lets me, I'll just seal that in so that it can't get bumped. And to make it symmetrical, I'll run around here. So from there, you find the one that they're getting dropped on, and then on that one, you want a piston there. Move around, piston on that one, piston on that one, piston on that one. And then observers facing into each of the pistons, like so. And then just droppers facing any direction, doesn't matter, on all the corners. That'll just flow the redstone round into this piston. And then to kick it all off, you'll want a lever on it. You'll need to turn it on once, they'll all fire once. And then when you turn it back off, they will fire round, like so. So we'll turn it on again just to keep that piston fired, and we will grab ourselves a trident. And all you're doing is you want to sort of aim kind of there on the block, throw the trident in. Now all I'm going to do is just seal it all back up again. I like to go around and just seal the whole thing in just to stop them getting pushed out or anything stupid by the pistons. And that should be us. If we jump in, turn the light off. And then all we should need to do is hold our trident, hold our loot and sword, and then let them fall through. And we'll give this a wee 5-10 minute test run and see how we get on from there. Right, so had it running just over 10 minutes. I've just lit it up again to turn it off. You notice a few changes I've made, so let's stay back because it's quite noisy. One was I had this tinted glass around the tops of the pistons and the droppers. I've swapped it out for a solid block because what I was spotting was the odd time when there was a few in there, it was pistons were firing them into these blocks. Because it was a what's termed as a glass block, they were just hanging around. So at least with the solid block there, their head's going to be in it. They'll suffocate and die and clear them out rather than us having loads in there. One thing I have noticed with the trident killers these days, trident doesn't seem to get moved as much as the pistons anymore. So instead of having them just falling into a 1x2 space and the trident killing them, I've opened it up so it's now a 2x2 that's too high all the way around. You'll see when these last two drop in that they'll fire around, and or not. He did. So they fire around and they get hit off the piston and that kills them off. So I did have the looting sword out for most of the time. I took it away a wee bit when I lit that up, but we'll see what we get. So you're getting 5 and 10 minutes and all the other garbage that you get from it. So it's not great rates, but it is a renewable source for copper, and then you are getting XP from it as well. So it's a fully AFK way of getting these lovely copper blocks, which haven't even started oxidizing yet. So it's not going to be the fastest one in the world, but it is the only way you are going to get these bad boys renewably without going mining. So you could quite easily have one of these. If you've got one near your base and it can stay loaded, you could have it running the whole time you're there, or if you're AFK in for other things, you can have it running in the background generating you copper. So I'm going to call it a day, and as always, if you enjoyed the video, do hit the like button. If you want to see more farms, I am looking at other things for the new blocks in the game to get some tutorials and things out for that. And anything you want to see me build farms for, or we have a new season on the Adultscraft Network coming up very shortly. So if you want to see all that, do hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.